we're out here at the Peyton Farm. Dad, what was it called? The Nyabing Pastoral Company. This was, and you're looking down Papa Norm's farm. Everything you can see pretty much was his farm.
Both sides of the road.
Both sides of the road. This is the piggery down here. We're going to go have a look at that in a minute. Down here is the piggery. And then both sides of the road. Apparently it was all mallee bush, which is what you can see next to the road here. And they cleared it all with big dozers. How many acres did they have, Dad?
I thought, from memory, it was 30,000 acres, and they said it was the biggest farm, certainly in the southern half of Western Australia. And they specialised in wheat and sheep, and then in the latter stages they built the piggery, which memory was about 7 million.
Well, we've just spent about 30 minutes driving on this gravel road, Peterson Road, out in Nyabing. Anyway, let's go on, Dad. We're here at the homestead of Papa Norm's farm. So this is obviously the farm manager's house. No one's home. That's the only one that looks lived in. There's then this kind of like a circle of houses with a big park in the middle. So you can see over there, these houses. Some of them look like, well, none of them are lived in now, but some of them look like they were lived in probably the last decade. It's quite amazing. It's like a whole little town out here. You see the power lines falling down. It's quite run down now, but there's another house behind these trees here. So yeah, quite amazing. It's like this whole village. This whole village out here, just in the middle of that. You drove out here with Papa Norm?
Yeah.
Yeah, and tell us about it.
Well, it was stinking hot, and we're just driving around like we are now in his Mercedes. The air conditioning was bad.
More wheat silos, and then you've got what looks like an office. It's all glass has been smashed out on it. And then the piggery. There's all these sheds. There's probably about 15, 20 of them, which I might not be able to show them all, but all looks fairly deserted, to be honest. We've tried to find someone at the farm. We can't even find anyone. So this is inside one of the piggery sheds. You can see it's very dilapidated and run down. There's probably 15, 20 of these. Incredible. All with drainage, with big silos for their food. These chutes up here are for their food. And the walls and roof is all insulated. So it was temperature controlled. Really like big, impressive infrastructure for the piggery. I can't even see the end of that. You can see these silos were for feeding the animals. You can imagine how much food they were going through. I'm just going to go take you inside this shed. I'm presuming that was the office for the piggery out at the Nyabing Pastoral Company. I've got like an outside walkway down here, and then inside each. Yeah, what is that, like a big fan, almost like an air conditioning thing for the pigs?
To keep it at a controlled temperature.
Yeah, look at all the wiring and electrics. This was big business.
Maybe it was more than $6 million.
$6 million back then to build it. And what would that be in the 70s, Dad? Papa Norm died 84, so probably early 80s.
I think early 80s.
I don't know, do you know any idea how many head of pig they had?
No, it's just
I mean, thousands and
they
thousands.
talked about the piggery, and then after he bought it and established it and set in opposition to some of the big boys, to Sonia and all those, they what happened was the price of pork dropped. So they must have bid patents out of it. Wasn't worth them selling it, you know, selling the pigs. Supposedly with the whiskey. Next thing on
Yeah. I just can't believe the size of it, the amount of infrastructure here. You've got probably, that's for transferring the animals obviously to trucks and what have you. The scale of it is huge. You can understand now why they had eight or so homes on the farm, because you would need all those workers working out here, you know. And look at all the all that infrastructure inside, all the metal work, and they've just spent millions and what did you say it was? $6 million back then.
Now I'm saying that, I think it might have been 12 million. I don't know, but it was just telephone numbers to me.
Yeah. Back then, you know, now that's probably $100 million, you know.
Oh.
And you'd believe it with the infrastructure out here. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful land. And not a soul out here. It's just all deserted.
Joel, my understanding is you can see the
Yeah. Yeah, wow. And so the pigs were indoors all the time, like it wasn't like they're out here in the field grazing.
When the piggery was operating.
Yeah.
You know, I came here when it was sheep and wheat and like
It was just the door blowing in the wind. Do you want to walk up a couple? This is the first time you've been in here, you reckon, Dad?
in here.
Yeah.
I've never seen this piggery until today.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, the infrastructure is just incredible. Another one of those tipping troughs, whatever that's for. I've just heard about this my whole life. It's good to finally see. So these are the houses in the governor's circle, as they call it. I'm just going to drive you around to have a look. So you had, I think, 7 or 8 houses in this circle with a big green paddock in the middle with a playground, and each family had their own house. It was like Papa Norm and Uncle Ross had just built this community out here, and it really is terrific. Very run down, these houses, but now it's only the farm. What's left is 1,000 acres, which pretty much just has this in the middle of it, all this infrastructure which is derelict and run down. It was just amazing what he did. Really big thinking. We're just in Katanning, and this is where Grangi, on the other side of the family, Dad's dad used to work. It's the old mobile depot. That old shed that's where it all happened, in Katanning. This was Dad's house in Katanning. What's the address, Dad?
62 Carew Street.
62 Carew Street, Katanning.